thank you for giving me this opportunity to work. And it has been a wonderful experience because ನಾನು ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ 2008ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಆವಾಗ ತಾನೇ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. Otherwise this was not part of Bangalore. So many of you do not know. This whole area of our constituency was not part of Bangalore till 2008. Only in 2008. Bengaluru Corporation has existed since probably the time of Britishers. But we became part of Bengaluru only in 2008. So ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸೋದೇನೋ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಆದ್ರೆ we were still Gram Panchayat. We were in the village Panchayat. He spoke, his area was in the village Panchayat. And the entire Chokanalli, many apartments have come. They were all in the village Panchayat. The Srirampura apartments, it was all village Panchayat. So Rachenalli, all of them were in the Gram Panchayat area. So directly by an order of the government, it was made part of BBMP. So there was no infrastructure when I came to this constituency. I mean, there were no roads, there was no sanitary facilities, there was no Kaveri water, there was no pipelines. The lighting facility available back then were some few in the incandescent bulbs hanging here and there. So that was the situation. And we inherited a challenging situation when we first came in. Back then the population was also much less, about 3.5 lakh. Now it has grown to 10 lakh. And a lot of migrant population also keeps coming, and there's a lot of transition. So, but in the last 15 years, we have managed to provide underground drainage, that is the sanitary facility, to most part of our constituency in the urban area. Not everywhere, but most. We have managed to provide Kaveri water to about 70% of our constituency in the last 10-15 years. And we have managed to develop most of the arterial roads, the approach roads. And of course they get worn out, but we have been trying to bring them back into shape. And in the same time, installation of lights and other civic amenities, development of parks, the development of lakes in our constituency. Some of the best lakes in Bengaluru are in our constituency. And we have not stopped there. We are still improving on those lakes. We are working, to improve the water quality in those lakes. That takes 7-8 years. Because we have to identify where the sewage is leaking into the open drains and do the underground drainage in the locality somewhere upstream and bring all that sewage into an STP, build a new STP, treat it and then release the water into the lake. That's a 5-6 year project. But we are not, undaunted by the timeline, we are doing that. So in the lakes that we have developed, now we are focusing on how to plug sewage coming into those lakes and how to set up STPs. We have upgraded the STP facility in Jaipur Lake, increased the capacity from the 10 to now 15 MLD. We are building a new 10 MLD STP in Rachenalli Lake so that the sewage can be diverted into the STP and only treated water enters the lake. That is a 5-6 year effort. These things do not happen. And we are building another STP near Kogilu so that the sewage that is flowing into Jakuru can be captured at the source, which is at the higher level. And there, once the sewage is treated, then it can flow in the open drain. So, lakes we have developed in the urban area and rural area. And as Raju mentioned, we have taken the treated sewage of Bengaluru, treated to secondary level, and we have pumped that water into lakes in the rural part of our constituency. And as a result, those lakes are now perennially full throughout the year and overflowing too. Mind you, these lakes were not full for the previous 20 to 30 years. They had not gotten filled up in 20 to 30 years. Now those lakes are full throughout the year. Water table which had dropped to about 1,500 feet has now come up to about 500 feet during the last 2.5 years. Open wells which had gone dry 20 years ago are now full of water. Open wells. 10 bore wells have come back to life. So these are, the kind of this project that we have done of using Bangalore's treated wastewater and filling up the lakes. Now it is actually a global model, because the President of the United Nations General Assembly came to India. One day he landed in Delhi, he met the Prime Minister, and the only other engagement he had in the whole of India was to visit a lake in Kolar to see this project under which the lake was filled up.